What's going on, guys? BCD here, and today I just wanted to bring you another video about at least my top 5 reasons on why I'll be pre-ordering my Xbox Scorpio before E3. So this is basically some of the reasons why I feel like I'm okay with paying that amount and that price in its current Xbox current state. So without further ado, let's just get right into that. So this list is not any chronological order or anything like that where something outweighs the other. These are just top 5 reasons why I felt like I am okay with pre-ordering it as of now before they even show off any games or any change anything about it. So number one, it's the push to have every game through each generation on one console. So I can see from what they're doing with the Xbox backwards compatibility and adding all this functionality that they won't go back to cutting off generation to generation. So from now on, anything that comes out on the Xbox One will work on the Xbox Scorpio. Anything that comes out on the Scorpio will work on the next iteration, and so on and so forth. They won't just get rid of that technology. They're implementing it for a reason, and that's one of the reasons why I'm okay with getting the Scorpio, because I know if I buy something now, 3 years from now, I'm still gonna be able to play it. So another reason why I'm going to be picking up Xbox Scorpio day one is the native 4K, and with the specs that were revealed with Digital Foundry and how they basically explained it to me, because I really wasn't getting most of that stuff, but how they explained it to me is I was going to be able to run native 4K games. So this is something I've been looking forward to. This is going to allow other games, and this also will upscale other games to 1080p, or if they weren't making the cut before, you know how they had the whole 900p type thing going on for the first year or two. Nothing could actually hit 1080. All that stuff will be well over that 1080 mark, and they'll be able to push even further. So this is something I'm looking forward to, because this bump in specs will allow it to be able to run things better, run things more easily, and it's going to push to make other companies or other entities push the strive a little harder. It's going to make those third parties want to actually give us all those pixels, essentially. This is also something I never thought that a console would be able to do, so I'm really happy about that. It's just that I don't have to actually go out and buy a PC, because I really do not. I mean, it's nothing against it. I just don't enjoy. I rather have my PC and my gaming separate. The third reason why I will pick up a Scorpio day one is essentially frame rate. If they can boast 60 frames per second on most games and lock that in as something that is very 60 frames 4K, or even if they just give me 60 frames, I would be more content with that, because I feel like competitively, when I'm playing shooters and stuff like that, I would really love a boost in the frame rate. Or if I'm playing a fighting game, I really want a boost in the frame rate. Like, I know Destiny 2 is coming out. I'm hoping that 60 frames is the norm on that game, but if it's not, I would really love to see that, and maybe just a single player on the Scorpio. I know they couldn't implement 60 frames while everybody else is at 30, but maybe if they just had the single player, then that will push me to have a different opinion about which console I would get that on, just because of that simple fact. I really do think that frames are very important when it comes to competitive gameplay, and if they can nail that in some type of way, give you that option, I believe that would be a big step in the right direction. So the fourth reason, essentially, why I would pick up a Scorpio day one and pre-order before I even had any more information, is because, believe it or not, Xbox still has some exclusives. They don't have as much as Sony, of course, but they are trying to create something that's a little bit more, and they're doing something that's a little bit more than just games. They're doing something to change the community in general. So when I always have to respect that and give them their just due, but they still do have exclusives. It's not as many as the PS4, of course, or the Switch. Well, the Switch a little bit, but Nintendo in the whole, but Microsoft does have certain IPs. They do have stuff people do look forward to, for as Gears, Crackdown, State of Decay. They have Cuphead. I'm looking forward to another Sunset Overdrive. It's just that they're in a drought. I know it's coming. It's just a drought. And to be honest, Xbox was never the company that we would go to for exclusive games. They was the company that was the cheapest. They had the best online service, and they were the multi-plat shooter company. So they used to have a lot of partnership. So when people state like, "Oh, Xbox don't have any exclusives," I'm like, you knew that when the 360 came out. I don't understand. That's not something that I really hold against them. Implementation and features is something I hold against them. Now, when they came out and stated about the DVR and how check in and all that stuff, that should be held accountable for that, because they did something that was totally against the community, and now I feel like they're fixing that mistakes, and that's what is basically running into my fifth reason why I pick up the Xbox Scorpio. And that fifth reason is just that I'm a fan of Xbox. I'm a fan of Microsoft and the company's motto and how they can change so quickly, and Xbox does things that everybody else wouldn't. They're implementing things that everybody else just wouldn't. The backwards compatibility, this is something that is going to force everybody else to either do something about it or change in a way. So, but essentially what I would like to say is that Xbox does things that make the other companies great, as well as they do stuff that makes Xbox great. I feel like Xbox tries to implement stuff quicker, and they try to be a little more innovative with their features, like with the backwards compatibility and how they emulate that onto the system. But moving forward, that stuff will work. Well, somewhere on down the line, PlayStation is going to get it. Nintendo is going to get it. That people want to see their back catalog. They want to continue to play games they used to have. I know it's a console mindset that you can't play what you used to have. You only can play what you get now, which is very stupid in my opinion. So them pushing for that makes me want to back them. Them implementing change in other ways, where they implemented change with the games with gold and made everybody else on their toes start implementing that in their systems. How they did the party chat first and everybody else had to get on that system. How they did the online service right on a 360 and then everybody else had to get on that. It kind of makes me feel like I should be able to support this company even if they aren't the best with the games, but they are the best when it comes to implementation. They're the best when it comes to throwing money behind something. That's what they can do well. I mean, it's the truth though. Like, they can throw money behind it, and that's why they are able to make everybody else work a little harder. And that's what we really need. It's not as if that's not needed. We need that. That's why we're getting that online service from Nintendo. That's why we're getting implementation of party chat, because it would be crazy for them not to do that when everybody else, that's standard. So Xbox makes standards as long as so does everybody else. I'm not saying that Xbox is the definer of the console generation, but they're pushing the most for change, especially when most of your implementation and most of your changes are consumer friendly. Like, everything that Microsoft does, it's at the heart of it, it's trying to make the experience better for that consumer. And that's why I respect it. And I can support that. And that's why I'm picking one up day one.